go through the light show next. This is with all the lights on right now, and light affects the way we see everything. And the black lights are on as well. So I'll dim them out one by one and see what we come up with. That's taking the red light and the warm light out, and it just has the cool light on it. Now it's hard to do skin tones and put fluorescence in it, so her face might fade into the distance here. If you want to take pictures with your phones, I don't mind. If you want to take a picture at different with the different lights on it, you'll see the effect. That's with the red light and not the blue light. So you can see how that warmed it up. If this was a landscape, it could actually be changing the time of the day. That is with just the fluorescent lights, the black lights on. A little bit of white light on it. So that is our Holy Mother, the Blessed Mother, done with kind of a modern twist for you. Can someone tell me what those letters mean? Sister?
I think it means Mary, Mother of God.
Mary, Mother of God. All right. You know that Mary's the patroness of the Americas, but when I was in Honduras, it was very unusual. We all went, the 6 of us that went came out of a Catholic church, but we weren't sponsored by the Catholic Church. I was surprised to learn that Honduras is a very Catholic country, and one of the popes in the past has named the Virgin Suyapa as the patroness of their country. Now, we were in an enclosed orphanage area, so we didn't do a lot of sightseeing outside of the town, but if I ever go back, there is a beautiful basilica built to this Virgin Mary apparition that I thought I knew about all the apparitions, and I never heard of this one. Suyapa, I imagine, is the town where it appeared. But we were there February 8th, I think. The 2nd or the 3rd is her feast day, and it is like Carnival down there, or Mardi Gras, with parades in the streets and processions with this Virgin that this basilica has been named for. So that's another very different image. But the story that I found on Wikipedia is that a peasant, someone like the Juan Diego story, laid down in a field and felt a rock underneath him. So he picked it up and pitched it, and he laid back down, and it was right back under him. He looks at it, and here it's a little wooden statue of Mary. And he takes it home and just gives it to his mother, who makes a little shrine or an altar in her home. And people would come and pray, and there have been miracles attributed to it. And that's how the Virgin Suyapa story came to be and became the patroness of all of Honduras. So that's another image. These star-like shapes I've noticed on many of your icons. Is that a symbol of Queen of Heaven?
Virginity before, during, and after childbirth.
Oh, the virginity. So it's the
Three of them.
There should be 3 all the time?
Yeah.
Good.
Everything is three.
I know everything has symbols in it, and, okay. So I'm gonna get this framed up and sent back over, and it can become part of the auction. So, Shar, if you wanna put the lights on? Does anybody have any questions for me? There's a place in, I think Michigan that makes this chalk. It's just big, it's called Lectures chalk, and then some of it glows in the dark. But apparently, all of this comes from minerals on the earth.
Excuse me, do you spray anything on it after you're done or anything?
I usually just frame it because any spray that you get is either going to blow all the dust off of it or darken it. It does about as much for that paper as hairspray does for our hair. So I always put it under, some protective. This one's going to be glass. And this is not my usual style. Usually I draw to a theme of music, and the picture tells a story more than like doing a portrait style. So this is a little bit different from what I do. I have a photo album here, and I have business cards over here. I am retired now, so I'm available days. Used to be I just did this on the weekends and evenings, but I'm free to travel, and if you would like me for your group, you can take one of my cards. I have a website, and see some of the other things I do.
During the day, now with black lights and all these different, during the day, will the sun affect it? Well, you're not going to put it in direct sunlight, but will the shading change as well, or no?
It should, no, and you won't get that effect.
Okay.
Although the fluorescent chalk is always the brightest chalk. So let's see if I take the black light off. That's a little bit of every other color. So you won't get that effect again unless you hang. You can buy black light, a free hell black light. Okay. Yes?
So Dee, you said that you do a chalk talk. So would there be times like where you would be like giving like kind of a lecture as you're drawing?
No, that's kind of a misnomer.
Oh, okay.
I think the picture tells the
Okay,
story, okay, and the story evolves. Now, I don't know if you could tell, there was an outline drawn on here, which is not my typical style, but if you start with to do an icon, you trace your lines on there first. Typically, I just start with a piece of gray paper. I know where I'm going because I've done them each one many times, but each one turns out a little bit different. I would prefer you not look at that photo album if you're going to sit in my audience, because then you're like, oh, I know what it's going to look like, or I know what it's supposed to look like.
Oh, okay.
This way, it just kind of appears in front of your eyes. But when I first had Gary Means come to my school, he said he did assemblies. I had never seen this. I said, oh, that's great, come to my school. And we had 300 kids sitting on the floor. You could have heard a pin drop. As today, you were a very attentive audience. The kids learned that they were listening to a story on tape. If they heard frogs croaking, there was going to be frogs in the picture. If they heard bees buzzing, that was going to appear in the picture. So they were kind of anticipating what was going to happen. I've seen him do the story of the first lighthouse. You can hear the waves crashing on the rocks and the seagulls. But as the story evolves, it's his, I think it was his voice on the tape, but you got to look at our backs while we're working. The whole family perished at sea. Man, I was sitting there bawling. I said, you didn't tell me this was going to be so sad. So it could be a historical picture or just a motivational picture. I have some scenes. I have a bridge scene that is my signature piece. It's on my business cards and it's on my car magnet. But it was first developed for the Felician sisters who were having an assembly, and they told me their theme was journey and hope. So I said, okay, I can see a journey, I can see a pathway. What music am I going to use? Well, here I went on their website, and they had recorded music. So I chose 6 songs from their CD, bought their CD, used that music, and I said, and you better sing along. And of course, they did sing along, and I heard some people singing along today. I've also used that same picture with Susan Boyle music, with the idea of like follow your dream. I've used it with Broadway show tunes that have that same theme. So kind of jigging the music to the picture is a little bit harder for me because I'm the art person, I'm the visual person. But I love to hear music, and like I said, it makes it more interactive for you. So when I first started doing this and said, I'm going to take this show on the road, nursing homes were my first audience, my target audience, because they're always looking for entertainment. And there's always people there. So if it snows, it doesn't matter. There's people there. You're not going to get canceled. For them, and because we're lights out, I couldn't pass out song sheets. I picked reminiscent music that they knew and could sing along with without having the song sheets. And that kept their mind going and helped me build the picture. And then I remember that order of songs, and I know when I get to this song that I should be at this point in the picture. The music helps guide me, typically. But music is very powerful emotionally. I had very senior citizens telling me, I remember what car I was driving and where we were going on our date when that song was on the radio. I mean, it can take you back to a place in time. Very powerful music. So that's kind of how this has all evolved, and I'd be happy to come and talk for your group.
We certainly want to thank Dee, and we're so happy that she tried because she gave us this lovely picture today. Very nice. Thank you.